You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, could the Chiefs potentially sign free agent KJ Osborne? We will dive into that possibility and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, got a little fan survey for the kingdom out there. I want to know, are you a Chiefs fan from Kansas City, Missouri? If you are, like today's video. If you are from elsewhere, KCK, Overland Park, Wichita, St. Joe, Topeka, Omaha, the Netherlands, I don't care. Comment and tell me where you are from. We just want to get a little survey of the kingdom. I've only been here a few months doing this show, and I just want to know where you guys are watching from. Let me know in the comment section. We'll get started with today's show. KJ Osborne has been waived by the New England Patriots, and he'll go through the waivers list, and if he does not get picked up, then he'll be available for any team to sign in free agency. So what about the Kansas City Chiefs? ESPN's Adam Schefter putting out this post on X earlier today. Patriots are waiving wide receiver KJ Osborne per source. It was a mutual decision, and he will now have a chance to catch on a team where he will be able to play more. He basically wasn't used in the Patriots offense over the last several weeks. So here's what you need to know. The Chiefs situation goes as follows. Rashee Rice, of course, is out for the season with a knee injury. That's not the only injury for the Chiefs wide receiver room, as Marquise Brown is not available right now with that shoulder injury. He's expected to return in time for the postseason. We could actually see him in a couple of weeks. But the bleeding doesn't stop there. Mecole Hardman was placed on injured reserve this past week with a knee injury. Osborne must clear waivers first. He could get claimed by a team to pick up his current contract, but if that does not happen, then he would be available for anyone to sign. And it's no secret the Chiefs GM, Brett Veach, he's not shy about making mid-season moves if he sees an opportunity to make his roster better. The Chiefs have been limited when it comes to money this year, but Brett Veach, where there's a will, there's a way. He's been able to make it happen throughout the last several weeks. Osborne, a former fifth-round pick out of the University of Miami, previously played for the Minnesota Vikings, where he had some decent success in Minnesota, and most recently with the New England Patriots. A lot of experience, 66 career games played with 34 starts in his career. And we've seen KJ Osborne look pretty dang good at times. There's been other times, like this year, where he kind of faded off in the distance. What version of KJ Osborne would you potentially be getting? I'll say this. When I look at the numbers of KJ Osborne, if the Chiefs get the version that we saw in Minnesota, if they were to sign him and get the guy that was getting over 650 yards this season, I'd be more than happy with that as your number 3 or number 4 receiver weapon at a potentially cheap cost. But if he is not going to be that player, if he's going to be the version we saw in New England, then it's a no thank you. But what we've seen from the Chiefs this year, think about when it comes to Kareem Hunt and Juju Smith-Schuster and some of these other guys, the Chiefs have a very good track record of turning nothing into something. And you would have to think that that could be the case with KJ Osborne here. So let's ask you, should the Chiefs sign KJ Osborne? It's our pinned comment today. Weigh in, let us know what you think. Type S for sign, P for pass, chime in. For the best Chiefs coverage around, you got to subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report as we bring you our daily news and rumors, our live shows every Tuesday afternoon, watch parties on game days, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. If the Chiefs end up signing KJ Osborne, you'll be the first to know about it, as we'll bring you a video here on the channel. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. We just passed 63,000 subscribers, but we're not stopping there. We're going to cover the run to the playoffs like no one else is right here on the Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. The thing I look at, too, with the possibility of signing KJ Osborne, there's really no risk here. I would have to think that he is going to, wherever he goes, get a pretty reasonable, pretty cheap contract that would probably just keep him around for the rest of 2024. Realistically, You just have to pay him for 4 weeks. And really, that's assuming he plays this week, really for like 3 weeks of the regular season, and then he gets his playoff money from there. Why not if you're the Kansas City Chiefs? We showed you earlier just all the injury issues that this Chiefs team has had at that position. I know this sounds kind of odd to say, but why would you not prepare yourself in case something else were to happen to the wide receiver position? Knock on wood, you hope it doesn't. But if it does, you're prepared for the situation accordingly. Let's go over the scouting report on KJ Osborne. Solid hands. He's been known to be a playmaker in his time in the National Football League with some big-time performances over the years, particularly that game against the Indianapolis Colts in 2022. We'll show you those stats later on. A physical slot receiver. I think the Chiefs could use some help at that slot position. It's been missing since Rashee Rice went down. Sneaky big play ability as well. You can't underestimate what KJ Osborne could potentially do. His speed and route running aren't that great, if we're going to be frank with you. But watch out. He's got that ability to go off when you least expect it. Now, the best game of his career. If you took a ride on the hot tub time machine back to 2022, the Vikings played the Colts. They were down by 30-plus points. And what do you know? The Vikings came back to win that game in large part due to KJ Osborne's performance when he had 10 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown. So even though that was 2 years ago, he's still very capable of going off if he's given the opportunity to do so. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats at the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether they're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered, including tickets to see your Kansas City Chiefs. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that is a deal you don't want to pass up on. They have their seat views so you can get the visual, see what that seat is like. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports. $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. So the truth of the matter for the Chiefs receiving core is simply this. Wide receivers have been dropping like flies this season. It has been a revolving door of players in and out. And if you're Kansas City getting ready for this playoff run, you pretty much should prepare for the worst. As bad as that sounds, it's better be prepared. You always got to have protection, right? You look at the Chiefs' wide receiver depth chart, and this is a solid group with D-Hop, Juju, Xavier Worthy. But then behind them, it looks a little bleak, doesn't it? Watson, okay. Nico hasn't really done much either. I would feel a lot better about this group adding KJ Osborne to the mix. Not to mention the Chiefs typically like to carry 6 receivers. So in theory, this position group has an open spot available for KJ Osborne to slide right in. I would see what he's got, see what he could potentially bring to the table, and go from there. What I would do if I was the Kansas City Chiefs, I'd start him on the practice squad, kind of get a little tune-up, see what he has to offer, and then simply go from there. If he looks like he's ready to go, if you think he can be a difference maker, then you promote him to the active roster and you give him a chance. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. Then that's just it, and you didn't lose anything out of it. That's what I would do if I was Kansas City. Do you trust the Chiefs' receiving core as things stand right now? Y for yes, in for no. Do you trust this group as is? Or should they bring in another option potentially? Weigh in, let us know. If you enjoyed today's show, there's only one thing left for you to do. That is like the video. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.